Time to say goodbye. Paesi che non ho mai veduto e vissuto con te. Adesso sì li vivrò con te.
I declare war! As our colonist population is growing, we need more land. We must expand. We must get to the land before the French do to have all the resources in North America.
Oh, funny seeing you here, young lad. I heard you only claimed 13 little colonies. Well, we claimed all of Canada and almost all of the land west of the Appalachian Mountains, the Mississippi River, and more.
Ha ha ha, those 13 little colonies is more land than you'll ever get. It is so obvious that me and my colonies will get all the land.
Settle down, soldiers! Tonight we will attack the tiny English settlement of Deerfield with our hundreds of French Canadians with our Native American allies. Woohoo!
Well, look who showed up. After 6 years of fighting, I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh, well, we're not finished just yet.
Who does this guy think he is, trying to take all our land?
I know, we must keep him away.
And who are these Iroquois people siding with everybody?
I know, people just can't make up their minds. Well, my young friend, clearly we didn't keep all the land and let the Native Americans have quite a lot.
Well, this is not my fault.
Not your fault. Well, you're the one who signed the treaty with them.
Well, I had to. They gave us valuables and money.
You're pathetic.
Look who's pathetic now.
This only means that now I have a bigger army, and the Iroquois had the fur. I want you to make every possible effort to drive the English from our lands.
Yes, sir.
I want you to tell the French to leave the area.
Yes, sir. I have a message sent from Governor Dinwiddie.
And what is that message?
He wants all of the French to leave this area immediately.
I'm sorry, sir, but I claim this land. Now it's mine to keep. What are you doing here?
Building my fort? What are you doing here?
Oh, no, you're not. My Frenchman and I were here first. I demand you to leave.
Over my dead body?
Well, then you leave me with no choice. I will make you abandon your work.
And the French was right. The English abandoned their work of their fort, and the French called their fort Fort Duquesne. All of you governors of the 13 colonies must prevent any attempts of the French or their Indian allies to keep their British lands.
I command you to take colonial force to march into the Ohio Valley to defend Virginia's interests.
Yes, sir. George Washington then arrived in the Ohio country of 164 poorly trained soldiers.
Excuse me, sir, but can me and my fellow men join your force?
Of course you may.
As George and the Iroquois made their destination, they made contact with the French party and defeated them in a brief battle. These were the first shots of the French and Indian War. I demand that you leave the French territory, and if you refuse, you will pay the consequences.
Instead of George Washington paying the price, the French commanding officer did, by getting his head split open with a war hatchet by the Iroquois leaders.
Later, Washington was unaware the French built Fort Duquesne and stationed a large force of well-trained French soldiers. Then the French sent a large number of soldiers and Indians to attack Washington.
On July 3rd, Washington retreated and built a fort called Fort Necessity. Washington was hoping that the French would charge into it. Instead, the French surrounded the fort and 1/3 of Washington's men were killed or wounded.
The Battle of Fort Necessity and the events that led up to it were the start of the French and Indian War. Go! I command you to send out redcoats to force the French out of the Ohio Valley.
I am sending out 2,500 redcoats to force the French out of the Ohio Valley.
While the British fought in the traditional European style, the French and their Indian allies picked off their enemy one at a time from the cover of the woods.
The wounded Braddock ordered a retreat. Shortly afterward, Edward Braddock died.
No one can stop me now that I control the Ohio Valley!
After Braddock's defeat, disagreements in Europe, coupled with fighting already taking place in North America, which brought on another war between European powers.
This was called the 7 Years' War in Europe and the French and Indian War in North America. This conflict proved to be the first worldwide war. The fighting took place in Europe, North America, India, West Africa, the Philippines, and the West Indies. Your Honor, if I may be your Secretary of State and the virtual Prime Minister of Parliament.
Yes, you have my honor.
I will lead the British government during most of the conflict, and I will devise a strategy of spending enormous sums of money to finance British and the colonial troops to drive France out of North America.
Oh, that is a perfect plan. We must get the French out of North America.
Unlike previous British leaders, Pitt treated the American colonies as allies rather than as servants.
As a result, American colonists were willing to send more troops and money to help fight the French. The American troops fought alongside British redcoats in almost every battle of war in North America.
As the French and Indian allies were feeling mighty about dominating the British, they should have been more careful because they didn't know what would come at them next.
The British generals were planning a major invasion of Canada. In that year, the British took several forts of the Ohio Valley. Well, looks like the fort you kicked me out of fell.
And what exactly do you mean by that?
All I'm saying is that if I built the fort, it would have stayed standing.
My men and I would have destroyed your fort the day it was built.
Oh, and have you checked your fort at Lewisburg lately? Because it's now mine.
Yeah, right, like you could. Soldiers, listen up. We have to abandon or surrender more forts.
What? Why?
I don't understand. I do not understand this.
Well, hello, fellow chum. I see you surrendered more forts to me. And also, I have the Iroquois on my side now.
You stole my Indians?
No, they just came to me because I have a much better army.
You wish. Just wait and see we will win this war.
Dream on.
In June, General James Wolfe assaulted the French stronghold at Quebec City at the St. Lawrence River. Quebec was the head and heart in New France.
I know. If I can conquer Quebec, New France will collapse.
It was going to be hard for General James Wolfe to conquer Quebec, because it sat on high cliffs above the St. Lawrence River. It was also protected by strong walls and many cannons.
You should just give up now. We all know I'm much more prepared than you are.
You seriously think that just because you're more men than me, you will win?
Yes, actually, I do think I will win. Also because I have 200 warships.
Real mature.
In the end, the British defeated the French, leaving both generals dead. I'll be done.
The French had lack of food and supplies because of the British blockade.
Blockade?
The French had lack of food and supplies because of the British blockade. The families surrendered included Montreal and all of New France.
This led up to the Treaty of Paris, which ended the war. Mankind must put an end to war before war puts an end to mankind.
John F. Kennedy.
Hello, Mr. Saunders. You are my favorite teacher ever.
Oh no, my mustache! Oh no, my mustache! No! I kicked your butt in that fight.
You should just see what we're playing next. Good luck.
We kicked your butt in that fight.
Just wait and see what we're planning next. Good luck.
Whatever. Oh my god.
Ready?
Wait, no, necessity, okay? Chocolate milk. That's quick.